welcome to my Locked In Gameweek 12 stream. I hope you guys are good. You're all ready to smash Gameweek 12 and you are thinking about your transfers if you haven't made them already ahead of the deadline. Of course, I will be going over some of the pressers. I'll also be chatting a little bit about my team and hopefully helping you guys with some Q&As. Now, I normally wouldn't be going around this sort of time. Certainly wouldn't normally be going head to head with Holly, but unfortunately I may have something on a little later, so I'm not able to make it on. So I'm going to kind of squeeze myself in here now. I know it's a little busy, so you know, if you can kind of flick between us, then great. And whatever I can help with, I will try and do so. So hey guys, welcome in the chat. Animations, GV, hey, I hope you're all good. If you've got any questions for me, then do make sure you chuck them in the chat and I will do what I can. But I always start off with the trending transfers on my Locked In stream. I think it gives us a really good idea of what's happening in the market, who people are delving into, who they're buying, who they're chucking out of their teams, and whether or not it's people who we should be considering as well. And whether sometimes they're just a bit of a punt, like maybe Doku. So Doku is the first most transferred player in this game week. And you know what? I think he looked amazing on the weekend. We do have to consider the opposition that he was up against a little bit and take that into account. But he was brilliant. The question is now, will Pep play him regularly? This is the problem we've always had with most of our kind of midfield City assets, isn't it? It's how regularly will they play? How much they'll get on the team sheet if other like members of the City team are doing incredibly well. But Doku looks special class. So in my eye test video on Monday, I did say that he just looked amazing. On the eye test, he passed every single kind of criteria that you would possibly want on an eye test for a player. So he looked brilliant. I would want to know that he was more nailed before I kind of delved into him personally. I would want to know a little more about making sure he was nailed in that team, how often he was playing, all that sort of stuff before I went on him. Mitchell, I think that was off of his goal. It was taken very well. Another one that I mentioned in my eye test video. I don't hate it. Slightly cheaper way into that Palace defence. So either way, hopefully for the next couple, you know, it is for the next couple. I'm not sure it's a long-term kind of vibe for the Palace defence, but I don't see, I think with lots of other defensive issues going on around the place, I don't see there's any problem to go in on a Mitchell. So Bowen, I like that pick. Hopefully he does well. Third on that list. And Ketia, obviously we are waiting on the Arsenal pressers to see what Arteta says. Now please just be aware that Arteta doesn't usually give a lot away in these press conferences. So I'm expecting a little bit along the lines of, maybe they want to play, they always want to play, you know, that kind of vibe. I'm not sure we'll get any definites. And if we do get any definites, it always makes me a little bit worried with Arteta. It makes me want to actually, do you mean that? So, yeah, I think it would be nice to have him as an option against Burnley this week. And I think that's why most people kind of jumped straight in on Nketiah. But I would maybe just, yeah, wait, hold off, see if we hear anything. See what we can get from that presses, but I'm not really expecting a whole lot, to be honest. Saliba, again, he's in my team, he's been in my team since day one, so hopefully, just hopefully, he can do well. The players out, of course, we now have Maddison confirmed out for 1 to 3 months with an ankle injury. So if you have Maddison and you're considering some other options this week, then Maddison can go. Burn can also go. He's out for a length of time. And obviously, the others then are kind of Romero. Yeah, we know what's going on there. Odegaard, with Arteta, it could be a bit of a case of Martinelli where we don't hear very much and then just shows back up. But to be honest, he hasn't really been performing, so I can see why people are selling him on. And Haaland, still in the top 5 transfers out this week. He's 5th, but still, people are getting rid of him, which really, really surprises me. Okay, you guys, let's have a little look at the chat, how you're doing. There's an interesting question by FPL Bateman asking why content creators are trailing behind. May not apply to you, but what do you think? I think there's always a very set template every season, and content creators, including myself, can get a bit hung up on making sure that you're part of the template, because the thing is, if you don't follow that template and it smashes it out of the park, then you're left behind. And the problem is, no matter how many people or what people say about this, is that the truth of the matter is, unless you're doing well in FPL, 9 times out of 10 your content doesn't do well. So to have those big game weeks, it really matters. But unless you stay with the pack, having those good game weeks are never really going to skyrocket you. So I think for a lot of people, GB, I think it's mostly that the template has suffered this season. I also think it's been a difficult season, as in, I think there's been a lot of 50-50 calls where some content creators have decided to go a bit different with a player. For myself, starting with Salah, it worked out okay, but then he dropped off for a couple of weeks in form. I got off of him. If I kept my patience in him, I'd have been better off. Having Foden in my team as long as I did, that didn't work out. So when content creators have gone differently, it hasn't always, the 50-50 calls haven't always gone their way. So when they have tried to go against the crowd, it hasn't always paid off. I think, actually, while I'm just yaggering away, I'll bring my team up so you guys can see. It didn't do well this week. I was very unlucky. If Udogie had just stayed at home, then I would have got Cabore's 8 points off of the bench. But I was never ever going to play Cabore. So, in fact, no, I would have got Saliba's 2 points off the bench. But yeah, it is what it is. But I hope that kind of helps answer it a little bit. Yeah, it just hasn't been a great season. I think those that are really smashing it out of the park are people who have gone early on transfers, have been really brave, have taken hits, have got those 50-50 calls right. And that's it. The likes of getting off of Mbeumo 2 game weeks, that was a very big shift for a lot of people. And of course, then for 2-3 game weeks, he's smashed it out of the park. It's just been little 50-50 calls where I think first of all, the template hasn't been like so strong this year, and secondly, I think when people have tried to do something different, it hasn't worked out. Cyril, I hope I've said that right. Hi from wet and chilly west of Ireland. I have a lot of family in Ireland, so welcome. Salah, I have Madison, so have to take him out considering Mitoma, Bowen, Mbeumo, Kudos, and Martinelli. Want one of the 5. I think they're all great options. If you're asking me which one I would go for, Martinelli is due. Is he not due? Like, he looked so good midweek. How he didn't get a return, I have no idea. The problem is with this Arsenal team at the moment and with these injuries, I've no idea where the points are coming from against Burnley. That is my only concern, is that I just don't know where the points are going to come from with Burnley, but I would love it to be Martinelli. Wouldn't that be good? I have Bowen, so I'm a little bit biased towards Bowen. Though I do feel he's been lucky with his goals the last couple of game weeks. They haven't been like out and out brilliant goals from him. So I think I'd probably top 3. That is so tough. You tell me, Soler, which one you're thinking on, because they're all really good picks. Like, it's it's one of those things where I wouldn't want to kind of guide you in the wrong direction there, because it's not like any one of those is bad. It's like choosing between your children. You feeling well? I am, thank you. do I do cash to Gabriel for a -4, or do Lascelles in for Gabore and start him over Simicast? Okay, animations. Would the Gabore one be a -4, or is that just for free? Hey, Rue! Hey, buddy! Everybody go check out FPL Rue's channel. Do say hello. Tell them that Nim sent you. Big up from Australia. I've got a best friend that lives in Australia, so we love Australia. Okay, no worries. The game week 12, the armband goes to ? Nobody looks convincing. You know what? If Saka hadn't have got that injury midweek, I would confidently have put my armband on Saka this week. I'd have brought him in, still may buy him in, and I would have put the captaincy on Saka. However, at the moment, my captaincy is on Salah. I don't see that changing. You're looking at my team and seeing all these flags and thinking, Nim, why aren't you wildcarding? Should I be wildcarding, guys? The thing is, I see 2 transfers here for a -4, right? So I can see Burn to Lascelles and Madison to Saka / Martinelli. So I'm kind of in your boat here. Animations, I'm not sure which one. Sorry, Salah. I'm not sure which one to go for myself. I think it'll be Saka, Martinelli, or Matoma that I will put in Madison's spot, and then depending on who I get out of those 3, if it's Saka, it'll have to be Lascelles for Burn. If it is Martinelli or Matoma, I may have a little extra. Might be a kind of case of a Livramento. I don't think I'm getting to the likes of I really don't think I'm going to the likes of Trippier as much as I would like to. Yeah, the Gabore one would be a -4. So okay, so what did we have? We had Lascelles in for Gabore and start him over Simicast. Do I do cash to Gabriel for -4? Is cash out? Or you just not feeling him? I thought the cash was okay. I would be playing an Aston Villa defender this week if you've got one. He's yeah. What is it? Just because he had a bad game week last week? I'd be playing cash if I were you. Animations. Why do you want to? Is it just getting the Arsenal defenders in, but like because it's Burnley? Because I don't really see anything wrong there, to be honest. Oh, new subscriber. Who we got? Oh, Jofredden. Thank you so much for joining the Nim fam. We really appreciate it. We are on the road to 7k, guys, and we're really not that far away now. So anybody who can help out by liking and subscribing, I would be forever grateful. So really, really appreciate that. But yeah, I do. Yeah, Fulham are tough, I guess, aren't they? They can score a goal or 2. I think I'm just still a little bit nervous about the Arsenal defence. I know it's Burnley, but we do have some nice run of fixtures. Yeah. Out of the 2 options for you, I think do cash to Gabriel for themselves. Villa's fixtures start to kick off soon, right? So I think it's game week 14, 13. They have Spurs. Oh, you know what? I may wildcard in the international break. Although they have Bournemouth then. Would you not want cash for Bournemouth? They are away. Their form away has been pretty atrocious, hasn't it? I don't hate. Actually, I really don't hate that. I think a -4 is okay this week. I think there will be a few hits around. I think people will be taking the hits, so I think you're good to take a hit this week. And I would probably go, yeah, go Gabriel. Gabriel, cash to Gabriel, I think. I don't think either of them are bad moves, so it's just whichever one you'd prefer. Maybe have a little look down the line and see who it is you'd like to play, say, next week and the week after, and then decide out of which two would be the best option for yourself. Soler bought in Nketiah before his price rise. If Nketiah is out, I may go Trossard as a 1 week punt. Ooh. Arteta's press conference is not yet. I'll check now if we've got any news on Nketiah for you. The thing is, Nelly can play up front as well, so I don't know if he'd play the same formation as last week or whether he might try and kind of switch things up a little bit. Let's have a look here. Have we got any? Ange has confirmed Madsen is likely to be out until the new year. Ooh, ouch. Okay. One for Gordon owners. Pound Barnes. I think he's still on schedule. He has just started running. He has to let his bone heal in his toe. Fingers crossed. He's on the right path. He'll probably be one that wouldn't be too far away after the international break. He certainly wouldn't be ready when we return, but hopefully wouldn't be too far off. Okay, so that's interesting. If you're in Gordon, no news yet on Arteta. Is he 1 or 130? He is at 130, so we wouldn't have the news just yet. Cool. Out of the 5, I am thinking one of Martinelli, Matoma, and Bowen. I think if you're going Trossard, then go Matoma or Bowen. Like, try and even it out a little bit. Don't go all in. Don't get me wrong. Arsenal, Burnley at home. It looks like a plum fixture, but as I say, I don't know where those goals are coming from. So it's a bit tougher. If you're not going, if you're not playing Nketiah or you're not getting Trossard, then Nelly could be a shout. But Matoma or Bowen are on form more than Nelly is at the moment. Foden and Burnout, but Lascelles and Saka in, or Trippier and Gordon. What do you think? I think wait until Arteta's press is at 1:30. Jove, I'm waiting on those myself because my moves are extremely similar. So they would be as long as... The thing is, I just don't think I'm going to get... how much? And Livramento's 4.3, isn't he? That's annoying. That's real annoying. So they'd be my moves. Once Arteta has his presses. And yes, I'm just taking out flags to add more flags. You can risk and play Gabore, take out Madison 4. Again, I think it's really team specific on who you switch Madison for and what you're looking for with that transfer. Like, for me, if I get any hint that Saka's okay, then at 50.6% to not having him in my team, if he goes bonkers, it would kill my rank. It would absolutely kill my rank. And I'm already taking a hit this week, so that's going to kill my rank. So that is why I'm going kind of Saka rather than anyone else. If I hear any kind of positive vibe towards him starting. Okay guys, there's 10 of you in here. Please smash a like on the stream and do subscribe if you're not already. Okay, the only reason I was thinking of taking cash out would be to get Gabriel with better fixtures for Arsenal. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I just don't know what's going on with Gabriel. Is he at risk of getting dropped again? I mean, I wouldn't personally, but I don't know what's in Arteta's head, to be honest. But as I say, I don't hate because it's a long-term move. But yeah, strengthening your bench is always a good idea, especially like, I mean, look at the situation I'm in with all these flags. I mean, it's not helpful. If I want a Villa defender for Bournemouth, I'll go Pau, Torres, or maybe even Moreno. Yeah, that's a good shout. They're both good. Thank you for your input. Oh, thanks, guys. Is Maddison out for 3 months? Will Richarlison start or will Bentancur start, assuming no Maddison? 1 to 3 months is the timeline we've been given for Maddison. This will have been updated by now, probably, with that quote, I would have thought. So it won't be Richarlison because he's had his surgery. So it's not going to be Richarlison. In answer to your question, GV, it will be Bentancur. And to be honest, I wouldn't. I was having a bit of a chat. This one of my group chats this morning. I wouldn't assume just because there's no Maddison that Spurs are suddenly going to be absolutely terrible. So first of all, Sonny playing in a number 9 position, and yes, he won't have his playmaker Maddison, but there are plenty of other like good. They won't be in the same way playmakers, but there are plenty of other players in that Spurs team that could provide Sonny. All he needs is that through ball and he's away. Yes, his fixtures are tougher. For myself, I think he's a wait and see through Wolves. And then depending on how he gets on Wolves, then I think he's a move on or a keep or, you know, whatever from there. But I think you can wait to see on that one. Yeah, so he's got quite a significant ankle injury the other night and was sent for scans. It wasn't great, so he'll be out for a period of time, probably into the new year as well. So December is a month away, January 2 months away. We're looking somewhere between 1 and 3 months for Maddison, which is a real shame because I really enjoyed owning him, and I'm an Arsenal fan, so that shows you how much I've enjoyed having him. So yep, on that one, bring Trippier in at all costs, says Less Than Hero. Can you afford him? At what costs would that cost actually be for you? For me, it's going to be a real cost. 5.8, I'd be looking at a Palmer or a Gordon, I'm assuming. Not terrible shouts. Not terrible shouts. I have my wild card. I may wild card next week. It's whether I want Villa for that Bournemouth game the week after. Then again, am I really going to go to game week 15 and not wild card? Maybe what I should do. This is where if Douglas Luiz gets his yellow this week after scoring a hat trick, it'll make it much easier for me to wildcard, because then I can be like, right, Louise, out you go, son, and then just keep Watkins and have a plan to move him on. So hey, Focus, welcome, buddy. Yeah, so if I wanted Trippier, it would be a Gordon or a Palmer. So not sure if it's at all costs for me, but what would your all costs be, Less Than Hero? Geddy, yeah, Flags FC here, Nim. Yeah, I hear you. Good evening, good evening. Or good evening, good evening. Jared Matoma or Mbremo as Maddison replacement. I'm getting a lot of questions on these replacements. See, the problem here with a content creator giving a definitely go for this player is that you absolutely know it's going to be the other player that smashed it out of the park. I got some serious sass last week from somebody for saying Captain Haaland. And you know what? They were like, I don't even have any. This was after the match, and they were like, I don't even have any Liverpool in my team to cover me. So you done me dirty. And as it was, Liverpool didn't do well anyway. So I think it's always a tough one. But Liverpool are conceding, but when you look at the likes of Mitoma's fixtures, Martinelli's fixtures for around that 6, Diaby's fixtures, like probably mainly Mitoma, to be honest. He's got the next 2, Sheffield, Forest. When I look at those, then I'd be more inclined to go with the fixtures, I think. That said, Mitoma, did he do anything last week? He got the assist, didn't he? Yeah, so yeah, and that was an Everton side that has got better in defence. So if you consider that Sheffield United, that's at home as well, isn't it? Mitoma. I'm going to stick a pin in it and say Mitoma. In fact, if there's no real decent news on Saka, and Arteta should be just making himself nice and comfy in that seat right now, then Mitoma could be the shout for me. He could. It's a shame that I couldn't get to him with Trippier. Otherwise, I would seriously consider it, because my defence at the moment is so shocking. It needs an injection of life back into it. It needs somebody who's actually going to play and get me some actual points. Because my defence every week, if I had a better defence most weeks, I'd actually be much better off in rank than I am right now. Wiley, welcome, buddy. I took out Sterling for West Ham mid-Conza, but I have Turner and Steele. Should I use a transfer on one of those? So Turner didn't play last week, did he? And Steele, I don't think, has played for some time. Steek. Steele. Not gonna be in there. I think you need a goalkeeper, bud. Oh, he didn't play last week either, but he has been playing before. It's mixed though, isn't it? A minute. It's been mixed minutes. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing to say Turner doesn't come back in this week, but his replacement did absolutely smash out the park and keep a clean sheet, so I think Turner's days are done. And to be honest, the only reason why Turner is still in my team at the moment is because I'm trying to eke it out to the wild card next game week or the game week after. So yeah, the reason I'm trying to hold on to game week 14 is the Chelsea fixture swing. So I really, really, really want some Chelsea in my team for the swing. For somebody who doesn't have Palmer or Sterling already, like game week 14 onwards, like, I mean, yes, City's tough, Newcastle is tough, but then come Brighton, Chelsea are at home, so they're potential. United have been conceding goals, but look at this run of fixtures over Christmas. I mean, that is just insane. So, you can't actually. You can see them, but that doesn't have the fixture difficulty on it. But yeah, that's why I'm kind of trying to hold out to 13-14. I'm thinking I could maybe get in like a Colwell, maybe even a Reece James, but the guy is made of butter. Jackson. I don't know if I could do it to myself again. I've been there once. But I think that there's some news that Chukwuma, I think it is, may be back fairly soon. So I think there's every opportunity that these sorts of players might get some game time and be playing up front. So they're kind of why I'm trying to eke out I'm trying to kind of do the shift from Villa to Chelsea and try and get ahead of the curve a little bit. The problem is there's that annoying bad fixture. There's this Spurs fixture here between Fulham and Bournemouth and Villa, and then obviously we've got 2 game weeks before Chelsea's fixtures kick in best, because I think Newcastle away is going to be horrible for Chelsea. So yeah, but I don't want to leave my wild card as late as game week 15, like 14, 15. 14 is going to be my cut-off, I think. Unless everything just goes brilliantly in the next 2 or 3 weeks, like out of nowhere, just like happy days, then I could take it to that blank game week for City and come out the other side with, you know, the likes of Brentford and such. But yeah, don't think I want to hold it that late. 14 Spurs, and then they have Villa, Luton and Palace. So it's not like I could even load up really on City, but you would want to after the break. So I'll have a little bit think there. But yeah, the wild card is coming. It's coming. Okay. Maddison to Bowen plus Archer or Palmer. Wait, hang on. Maddison to Bowen plus Archer or Palmer plus Darwin. Rakesh, can you clear that up? I'm not really sure what you're asking me there. Sorry, buddy. And Maddison to Bowen, I don't hate. Oh, if you're then asking me upgrade Archer to Palmer or Darwin, or you ask, oh, okay, Bowen in for Maddison and then Archer in for somebody up front, I'm assuming, so you could afford that, or Palmer plus Darwin. That's tough because Archer, you see that Archer is burning game week 14. Will we play him though? Do you have Archer? Will you play him in game week 14? Let me know in the chat. Douglas Luiz, future gunner, 100%. Ooh, interesting. Do I start in Buemo or JWP? Don't know why I went there. Hammers at home against Forest. And Buemo's in form though, isn't he? I think I would say Buemo. Focus. Arteta is here for his presses, says club will take 24 more hours to assess doubts. Jesus and Nketiah, Odegaard and Saka. Saka did not train yesterday. That was just what was said now. Saka didn't train. Oh, I was so sure on getting Saka. That would not be great. No updates on Ben yet. Let's have a look what the other places are saying, what my other sources are saying. Not updated yet. Okay. If Saka didn't train yesterday, that make me worried about getting him in, because there is every chance that Arteta may go, right, have Burnley an international break and come back like for Christmas sesh. But oh, Wiley, oh mate, this is just horrible, isn't it? In Cuckoo must be, that's the one I was thinking, in Cuckoo. Yes, because he'll play up top, won't he? I think he'll play up top. So yeah, that's another one that I could maybe consider, but I don't know how far off he is. GV Arteta keeps everyone guessing. Oh, okay. Thanks, Geddy. Let's have a look. What do we take about him not playing? That's... See, when he got called up for England, I was like, oh, surely that means he's fine. But then people are saying he just might not have, like, got there yet. So I'm a bit confused. A bit confused on that one. That's not helpful, is it, Geddy? Not helpful at all. What do I do? Do I take a punt on Nelly? Do I take a punt on Nelly or Matoma? Matoma. The really annoying part about this is if I go away this evening like I'm hoping to, then tomorrow for any update at all on any of these players, I just won't get them. Which is worrying. Is that enough? Oh no, Trippier's 7 now, isn't he? Trippier 7? Ah, bugger. Thought I had enough for Trippier then, although I'm sure I looked at that earlier. Matoma or Martinelli? Matoma or Martinelli? Oh my god, my spelling today. Spelling today is atrocious. Oh, Nelly, have you done anything in recent weeks? Last time he scored was 45 minutes in against City. Ugh. Looks so dangerous every single game. Look at these fixtures, man. I don't want to get stuck with Nelly when I would prefer Saka long term. But then I could wildcard Nelly out, could just make it 1 week punt. Do I go Trossard? Good old Trashard. Oh, lads and ladies, I'm struggling. Don't usually get a ton of points anyway. I may just wait for my wild card to get. That's true. That's true. If you still got your wild card, you could do. You could take a punt this week. Tough week for you. Yeah, it's tough. If he's doing late fitness tests, that could literally mean anything for the likes of Jesus and Ketia, Odegaard and Saka. But that could mean anything. That could mean he starts, and to sell him, and then him starting against Burnley, just horrible, isn't it? I'm feeling for you, buddy, because that's a really tough position to be in. Really tough position to be in. Yes, hopefully you can get some training pics for Saka training today or news tomorrow. Yeah. He never does. I said at the beginning of this stream, don't expect there to be much of an update from Arteta. I said it at the beginning of the stream. I was like, he's going to show up and not give us anything. I could, I could go Maddison and Trippier to Gordon. Maddison and Burn to Gordon and Trippier. But you know what? After what Gordon did to Arsenal last week, no, it's not. It's not that at all. It's just that I would really like some more Arsenal against Burnley this week. It's just really going to be nailing. I think because I've got my wild card, I can get that combination after this game week. So I can, like, but then they have the Bournemouth this week. But I get Lascelles in either way. Lascelles or Livramento in either way against Bournemouth. And then if I wildcard 13 or 14, I'm getting 2 home games. Okay, they're not necessarily against the best, like, form, to the best, like, teams, but these like Chelsea and United have been shipping goals, right? So I don't hate that. And then they have a really nice, tasty run, you know, into game week 20, right? So I feel like that is a wild card, like almost a wild card lock potentially for me. Should we have a fiddle with what a wild card might look like for me? So let's stick in Gordon and Trips. We probably wouldn't have Simicast or a game week 14. Game week 14 get a little tricky, but then goalkeepers are a bit thin on the ground, aren't they? How much is the new fella playing instead of Turner? Oh, Areola's Burnley in game week 13. That would be. Oh, it's looking like I might wildcard next week. Who would Johnson have next week? Luton, though. Ooh. Saliba's staying in my team. He's been there forever. Depending on how Sonny gets on without Madison, should know about Saka by then for their nice run of fixtures. Bowen has Burnley in 13, so I'd probably keep him. Maybe have a plan to get rid. Again, I'd probably have to do the same and give Watkins Bournemouth, I think, as much as I really wouldn't want to. But then maybe he could become Darwin. Yeah, then maybe he could become Darwin for Fulham, Sheffield United. So could just make sure I leave enough in the bank there. We obviously need to find out about Wilson and Isaac. Otherwise, they could potentially be an option. Good run of fixtures, midfielders. Could I do the Saka Nelly double up? Oh no, we could get Sterling or Palmer, right? Because of the Chelsea fixtures on their way. So let's just get Sterling in for now. But to be honest, just that some players returning that worries me a little bit with the Palmer situation. Right, defenders. I guess it might depend on whether I stick with a 4.5 in Johnston, which, you know, I've had him this far. I don't think I'm going to change that. I'd just probably get Areola in to help cover him. But then would I probably not going to want to do the double up on Palace because past 13, 14 things get a little more difficult for them. So if would I maybe do the double up in Arsenal defence? Kyle Walker, anyone? Been playing every game, hasn't he? Pretty much. Just even City haven't really been keeping clean sheets. I mean, it's the defence is so few and far between at the moment. It's so hard. So we'd go Lascelles, right? Probably, because we probably wouldn't go Wilson or Isaac. And then see, we've not even got any Stoneman now. It's Stupinan now after he came back. Brentford's fixtures, they do have a blank, but they have some nice tasty fixtures here. So maybe a Pinnock in there. And would I go in on a Colwell and have him for my bench? Maybe. Now I'd have to run that obviously through a planner. Or if I knock up, I'm not gonna. Ooh, so much money. Okay, so yes, it's Sterling probably with Palmer. This is looking game week 13, 14, guys. If you were wondering, like, why I'm getting Chelsea players in. I'm basically trying to do something a little bit different. Trying to get a little bit ahead of the curve. Trying to do something decent with a wild card. Then that actually leaves me 1.1 to play with as well, which is not terrible. And I feel fairly happy with that because I don't think I'd have to play Colwell till at least game week 14 if I didn't want to, because Pinnock has Arsenal on 13, so I probably want to play him, but could probably play the 2 Newcastle lads since they're at home for 13, and obviously we have Brentford. So yeah, that's potentially an option. What do we think? You could go Madsen and Burnt, couldn't you? Yeah, so that's kind of making that wild card with those players, but next game week, basically. Yeah. Defender points have been few and far between, haven't they? Not been great. I mean, I could maybe go a Mitchell if I wanted to. Problem is, their fixtures aren't great past this point. But if I wanted somebody to play game week 13, then it wouldn't be a terrible shout. And they do have a lovely run again, like game week 22 onwards. So just to kind of eye up a potential kind of section again. Right, you lovely, lovely people. I should probably wrap it up there, shouldn't I? I've been doing all of that and you guys haven't been able to see the whole of my team. But yeah, I should wrap it up there. I hope you guys have a fabulous, fabulous game week in game week 12, and it's better than game week 11 was, because I was like, what, how many points was I away from my worst score? So my worst score ever in FPL was about 4 seasons ago, and it was 23 points. And I managed a grand total of 25 last game week. So yeah, woo, yay me. Just beat it by 2 points. Woo. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining. Thanks for getting those questions in. I hope I've helped you out. A little bit up in the air. Obviously, would love some concrete news on the Arsenal lads. But yeah, do head on over to Holly's stream if she's still streaming right now. And I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And do let me know how you get on. Like and subscribe and share this if you can, because it all really, really helps me out. Until next time, Nympria out. Without